Welcome to One Brooklyn, presented by Brooklyn Borough President Eric L. Adams. On this edition of One Brooklyn, Brooklyn Borough President Adams and Mayor Bill de Blasio held a press conference to announce a car-free Prospect Park. The press conference was held at Grand Army Plaza, where it also was the kickoff for the City Hall in Your Borough Week in Brooklyn, where the mayor will be sharing Brooklyn Borough Hall with the borough president.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. My name is Denairi Sanchez, and I'm 16 years old and a junior at Bays High School, nearby on Washington Avenue. My family and I just immigrated to the United States from Panama in January of this year. Many of my friends have told me stories about what it was like to grow up coming to Prospect Park. For me, it's different. Coming to Prospect Park has been an important way for me to learn about my new home and participate in my new community. Prospect Park has become my backyard. I love coming to watch the sunset from the lakeside and relax by the waterfall near the boathouse. It's incredible to see so many people from all over the world enjoying such a beautiful and special place. I can't think of anywhere else where you can't escape the sound of traffic and crowds on the street. Last spring, I was excited to learn that I had an opportunity to work here with the Prospect Park Alliance, caring for a place that I quickly come to love. Working at the Leffer Historic House with families from all over the city, I have just learned how important it is to the community to have a safe place to run, play, or walk your dog, free from speeding cars, honking horns, and nasty exhaust. I know it's important to me, and I know many New Yorkers will be excited to hear that Prospect Park will be finally 100% car-free. It will be better for our health, better for the environment, and better for all the people and the animals that live in and love Prospect Park. Thank you all, and now without further ado, I am honored to introduce our mayor, Bill de Blasio.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job. Great job. I'll just kick it over. Yeah. Thank you. Denairi, that was fantastic. I want to thank you for kicking us off today and speaking so eloquently, and also all you do for Prospect Park. I'm glad that you understand how great this park is for the people of Brooklyn and for the city, but you're actually doing something to make it better. And let's thank Denairi for all she's doing. Thank you so much. So Denairi speaks about something that so many of us can relate to, which is this is a park for everyone. That's the amazing thing about Prospect Park. If you spend any time here, you see every kind of person, and you see a lot of harmony. You see people coming here for a peaceful moment, for a chance to enjoy this beautiful park, to be with their families, to just take it easy. And it's every kind of person enjoying this together. And that's the beauty of this park and the beauty of Brooklyn. And as we kick off City Hall in your borough, I can't think of a better example, a better metaphor for what's great about Brooklyn than Prospect Park and the way it gathers all the people of the world. You can clap for that. And I want to thank everyone who is here with us. It's a really important day for Prospect Park. It's an important day for Brooklyn. And joining in the celebration, I know she has been anxiously looking forward to this day, our Transportation Commissioner, Polly Trottenberg. Thanks for all your great work. A guy I have known since I was a Little League coach long ago, the Brooklyn Borough Commissioner for the Parks Department, Marty Marr. Thank you for your great work. And also thanks to the Chair of Community Board 9, who's been waiting for this day anxiously as well, Musa Moore. Thank you so much. Now, I can't possibly describe to you how much Prospect Park has meant to my family. I think we are at the high end of the scale in terms of making the park the center of our lives. Some of you know that Charlene and I were married under a tree in this park. We had our wedding reception in the picnic house right here. Our kids played Little League on the fields in this park. And we were on the playgrounds all the time, especially when they were smaller. And it meant everything to us. This is where our family grew up. And we shared so many amazing experiences with other families. And any time that Shirlene and I come back here, we just feel tranquil the minute we walk in this park. It's crowded a lot of days, but it's still a beautiful, peaceful place. And it has meant so much to the families of Brooklyn for generations. And I always say to people, remember, a park means so many different things. For some families, this is the only green space they ever get. And this is where they spend their summer vacation, because that's their economic reality. And that's why the park is so important to everyone, but for some people it's particularly important. This park's been here basically 150 years, century and a half. And it's part of what makes Brooklyn great and makes the city great. In fact, the park was built before the automobile existed. The park was not built with cars in mind. They didn't exist. The park was built for people. It was built to be an oasis. It was built to be a place of peace and safety. And in the long arc of history, we saw the time come when the automobile became predominant. Cars were let into the park, and from that moment until today, cars were a part of this park, for better or for worse. That's been that way for a long, long time, but today that changes once and for all, and I'm proud to announce a car-free Prospect Park. Starting on January 2nd, 2018, there will be no cars allowed in Prospect Park 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And this is really about getting back to the original idea of this park, restoring it to its original purpose. It needs to be a place for everyone, and it needs to be a place that's safe, and it needs to be a place that people can fully enjoy. I know, as a parent myself, I would always be looking over my shoulder when I was walking along the drive and cars were sharing that drive with my children. I never felt comfortable, and I know so many other parents who felt the same way. And there were some horrible moments along the way and some tragedies because it just didn't make sense. This is very much connected to Vision Zero, to making sure people are safe, to changing somehow how we think. You know, a lot of what we did over the years, we came to assume it was the only way to do things, even when it wasn't the best way or the safest way. Vision Zero is all about disrupting that, changing those assumptions, making people safer, and we can see it's working, and this is going to be another step in the right direction. So, this is a very exciting way to begin this week in Brooklyn. I love this borough deeply. I feel such gratitude as a Brooklynite for all it gives to all of us. It's time to keep making this borough a better place to live. And think about it, this is also about a more livable borough, a more livable city. Some things may seem small, but they really have a big impact on people's lives. When you don't have those cars whooshing by, it gives you a sense of peace. We need a little more peace in the city. People are working really hard, long hours, a lot of stress. There got to be some places that are stress-free, and this is supposed to be one of them. And I want to just say personally, like a lot of people here, a lot of us have been working on this idea for a long time, in my case going back to 2002 when I started in the city council. And I want to thank everyone who's been part of this effort. It took a long time and it went in stages, but we finally got to the goal that was dreamed of for years. So, before I say a few words in Spanish, I want to say this is kind of exemplary of everything we find during the City Hall in your borough weeks. We listen to people. We listen to the leaders of each borough. We learn a lot in terms of where we have to focus, what we have to fix, what remains unresolved that we have to break through and resolve. Here's an example right away, something that has been needed for a long time, and the day is finally here. Just a few words in Spanish. Estamos anunciando que Prospect Park será totalmente libre de autos por primera vez en su historia. Nuestra meta es que el parque sea más seguro para las familias y mejorar la calidad de vida de los neoyorquinos. Además, el plan es una respuesta a las necesidades de la comunidad y una forma estupenda de empezar la semana de la alcaldía en su condado in Brooklyn. With that, I want to welcome the borough president. I want to say the borough president and I have had a very strong partnership over these last 4 years. And I am deeply impressed by all he has achieved for Brooklyn. And when we started talking about this borough week, I knew he would have a strong agenda that he wanted to pursue together, as he always does. But his heart beats for Brooklyn. He loves this borough. He loves all the neighborhoods of it. He has served us in so many ways, including as a police officer in a very distinguished manner. And I can't think of a nicer way to start City Hall in your borough in Brooklyn than in this beautiful site and with this moment of success in the very first hour of the day. And I want to bring forward Borough President Eric Adams.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much. Two things the mayor stated that I just want to touch on. First, I want to just really welcome and thank the keeper of our space, Sue. Sue is in charge of the park here, and she is just amazing in how much she gives back. And, you know, we cannot say enough about the Commissioner Trottenberg's pursue to make sure that we can have a car-free park. I use this park all the time in the morning to bike. And this is a significant moment for us all. And both the mayor and I saw our children grow up inside this park, Brooklyn's backyard, a place where we cross-pollinate not only ideas, but culture and economics and possibility. Dreams are made here. More than a tree grows in Brooklyn. Families grow in Brooklyn. Opportunities grow in Brooklyn. Relationship grows in Brooklyn. We break down and tear down those barriers and walls that prevent us from interacting with each other right here on this field as we watch movie nights, free movie nights, as we go to various events, concerts. This park is the center of the Brooklyn universe, and Brooklyn is the center of New York's universe, and New York is the center of American universe, and America is the center of the globe, so it starts here in the borough of Brooklyn. The mayor stated that he loves Brooklyn, but Brooklyn loves him. Brooklyn's child grows up to occupy City Hall, and he never lost his feeling here for this borough. Still right here, from the Y to the various places here. Never became a Manhattan-centered mayor, a mayor that understood that we are made up of 5 boroughs where the people are part of this great city. And there's no greater place than to end the final stage as the curtains rise on this week of the City Hall in your borough, to come out and experience the last chapter in this great initiative of really coming in contact with everyday people. This has been an amazing trip on his part, and to come through the borough of Brooklyn and watch what we are doing here. He said something else that was crucially important that I hung on to, his term that he used: disruptive behavior, that will disrupt those things that we have traditionally carried out that were just wrong. We have lived through human inertia, remaining in place without disturbing things, even though we knew they were wrong to do. And this entire week, we're going to roll out and show some of the things that we are doing. A city hall that is unafraid of saying we must do things differently if we are going to move the needle in a positive direction. And so we will look at some of the innovation that we're doing in Brooklyn, some of the ideas that are taking place here in Brooklyn, some of the new initiatives that we're doing here in the borough. A borough where 47% of the people speak a language other than English at home. No place personifies the diversity of this city more than this borough. The largest borough of the 5 boroughs with 2.6 million people. It is great to be here and to be the borough president of this great borough. We're great partners, from our community boards to Brad Lander, who has been a voice of reason and a voice of intuitive outlook on how to do some great things right here in this community and has cascaded throughout the entire city, if not the entire borough. So I'm excited about this week. We want to thank the 7-8 precinct who's here, his inspector and his team, on how he has kept this park safe. We have gone through a period of time where we had no felonies inside this park because of the safety and initiative of the New York City Police Department. This city has become safe, it has become productive, and it has become a place where I like to say, and it's more than just a motto, it's a place where we are going to raise healthy children and families. That's the goal. No family being left behind. No family being forgotten. No family ever is going to believe that the welcome mat is not going to be written in all the different languages, all the different cultures, all the different lifestyle, all the different genders, all the different ways of life. It doesn't matter if if your daughter has two daddies or two mommies, or if you're living in a male-female relationship. It doesn't matter. This is the borough. It's only two types of Americans, I like to say: those who live in Brooklyn and those who wish they could. Welcome to Brooklyn.
Well said, Borough President. I want to also thank Sue Donahue, who's doing outstanding work as the president of the Prospect Park Alliance. Congratulations on this good day. And now I want you to hear from the two council members who have been big believers in making this park even better for the people they represent. First, the man who I'm proud succeeded me in the city council in the glorious 39th district, Council Member Brad Lander.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As another father who has raised his kids in this park, as somebody whose heart beats for a Little League opening day, who runs or rides in this park at least once a week, who thinks of Celebrate Brooklyn as like the greatest and most diverse and beautiful event. I'm thrilled that we are opening off City Hall in Your Borough Week in Brooklyn by declaring a car-free park. This is a birthday celebration, we should say. Last week was the official 150th anniversary of Prospect Park, the first day that the citizens of Brooklyn, it was its own city then, were able to come into the park, into Olmsted and Vox's just gorgeous creation 150 years ago today. So this is a pretty great birthday present for Prospect Park to be car-free. But I do want to take a moment to sort of think about the more somber side as well. Some of you will remember Rachel Fruchter, a wonderful member of our community, who was killed when hit by a car while riding her bike in this park some years ago. So it's a celebratory day, and it's a day to remember what safety really is all about. Here's who's thrilled about today's decision. Seniors who go walking that loop every single morning and are safer without cars in it. Cyclists who are riding it in the morning. So many joggers who are there. Kids and their parents who are going into the park for a morning game of soccer. Of course, so many dogs and their people are thrilled about this. We've got the horses from Kensington Stables who are still there. We're going to keep them there, and they and their riders are thrilled. I think the squirrels are very happy. They don't have as many people. And I guess the cows as well. The Brooklyn cow, it's true, did not make it across the park drive. But the community of people that are thrilled about this is very, very broad. The mayor mentioned the step-by-step incremental approach. And I just want to say some more specific thank yous about it because we got here in a really strong way. We have advocates here this morning from Transportation Alternatives and from the cycling community and folks who have been advocates on Vision Zero and Streets PAC who have really been pushing this along with the mayor since 2002. The park and the Park Alliance have been a great partner. Prospect Park Alliance and the DOT had a fantastic task force that changed the road configuration some years ago and increased the space for pedestrians and cyclists and moved the cars just into one lane. And that really helped move it forward, slow the cars down, make people see there were better ways of getting there. DOT has helped move step by step by step. I want to especially call out the 7-8 precinct for being a great Vision Zero policing unit, in addition to keeping the park safe. Under Inspector DiGiacomo, and under his predecessor as well, Inspector Ameri, this park, the whole district, but the park has really been made a real model. And it is that partnership, advocacy, government, policing, step by step by step, that have gotten us here. And in that respect, I especially also want to shout out our borough president. He succeeds another great borough president, but this step to this borough president is a big part of helping us get to a car-free park. And I sure want to thank you about it. Thank you for that. And then I just want to end by thanking Denairi. You know, I think because it's 150 years, it's an important moment for us to recognize our responsibilities as stewards of the vision that Olmsted and Vaux and the city fathers of Brooklyn, and they unfortunately were mostly fathers then on the Brooklyn City Council, had for this. So to have people like Denairi picking up that mantle and caring for this park, I want to let you know that the mayor and the council together have put money in the budget to fix up Lefferts House so the roof will stop leaking. And also some money so that we can do more to educate about the history there. There were slaves in Lefferts House, and we have more work to do to make sure people know and learn those stories. And to have you taking the mantle of taking care of this park and this borough, that is truly a glorious way to kick off this week and the next 150 years of Prospect Park. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Brad. Finally, want to welcome a man whose constituents are particularly benefiting from this action, because the side of the park that he represents has been waiting a long time for this day, and it's going to make a better life for the people of his district. My pleasure to introduce Council Member Matthew Eugene.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. After listening to so many brilliant speakers, I don't think that I can add anything more. But I want to say only that, I'm so delighted to be here today. This is a great day for New York City. This is a great day for all of us, parents, children, and everyone, who is living in the great city of New York. Today is a great day because the park is a great asset for all of us, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your religion, your socio-economical situation, regardless of your faith and your political affiliation. The park is a great asset. But before I speak any further, let me take the opportunity to thank our mayor, who is thinking not only on the safety of New Yorkers in the street, but who is thinking about the safety of New Yorkers everywhere, including the park. And I want to thank the mayor for all the effort that he is doing to make sure that New Yorkers are safe everywhere they are. Thank you so very much. I want to take the opportunity also to thank the people who work day in and day out to keep our parks, especially Prospect Park, clean. I want to thank Sue for the wonderful job you're doing and for your leadership also. Thank you very much. And I want to thank also your staff members. They do everything that they can do to make the park, a beautiful place for everybody to enjoy. And what about also the volunteers? They are a wonderful asset to all of us. Thank you very much to all the volunteers. What is happening here today is a wonderful thing. Every time that I have to come to the park, that brings me good memories. You know that I was born and raised in a beautiful island. So that's where I used to go. I used to go to the park almost every time, every day. Especially I've been practicing art, yoga, and meditation. And I want to tell you, if you want to be healthy, you want to have energy to work hard in New York City, come to the park. Come to the park, especially in the morning, to breathe fresh air. Come to the park. Even if you want to walk, ride bicycle, everything you want to do, come to the park. Because believe it or not, the park is not only a place for people to come to enjoy, but it's a place where you can come to make sure you stay healthy. And what is happening here today is not about making our park or Prospect Park safe, but also to make sure that the people who come to Prospect Park, they can stay healthy. This is a health issue. They are going to be safe, but also by doing that, the mayor is decreasing also the pollution that affect our park and also our trees also. To conclude, let me say to all of you who have been part of the park, who have been doing anything to keep our park safe and beautiful, Thank you very much. And Mr. Mayor, again, on behalf of my constituent and on behalf of all the New Yorkers, thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, my friend. Well done. Well done. Thank you. Thank you to all my colleagues. Thank you for all you do for the park. And the message is clear. Starting January 2nd, everyone come down and enjoy a car-free Prospect Park once and for all. Thanks so much.